So welcome to my first official planner flip through on this channel. I wanted to create this channel because I do love planners and I do love paper crafting just as much as I do in my yarn world. I have wanted a dedicated place to share that. Recently I've gone through a lot with the care of taking care of my mother-in-law, and honestly I've just been very stressed, and the planner system that I was using, Happy Planner, was just not working for me anymore. And so I needed something new to do, and I went back to Traveler's Notebooks. So this is my current setup for the month of November. I wanted to go ahead and show this video before I start writing in it tomorrow because today is October the 31st. So that is what we're going to do. This is a Amazon cover that I paid $28 for. I do have a couple of other Traveler's Notebook style covers that I had from the past. They're probably anywhere from 12 to 15 years old. But this is my newest cover, and I wanted a leather one. This is just a standard narrow Traveler's cover, and I can't remember the brand, but I realized that I'm a very chunky planner girl, and so this is my day-to-day, everyday setup. And I feel like it needs to be a wide to accommodate all my things. But I like seeing her completely full, so I'm not too upset by that. I like the scallop. The stitching is actually pretty nice detail. It's very even. I mean, I can't complain at all about it. I did make me a couple of dashboards. I just found some photos off of online, printed them, and then laminated them. So I can use these in between the pages when I'm writing, but I also just kind of like to have a decorative photo right out the front because this is the ever so well-known little canvas zipper pouch from Amazon that is kind of not the prettiest, but it's very stiff and it does have a very, very hard and rough texture, but it's a really nice little insert for your Traveler's Notebook. So in this zipper pouch, I like to keep a couple of my main pens and a couple of washi samples. So the main things I enjoy writing with in my Traveler's Notebooks are the Mr. Pen clickable black ink. These come in like a pack of 12. I'll link them down below. They're so soft to hold and they write very smooth. I do love my Micron pens. You can tell I use them quite frequently, and I love the actual pen and the number 5. I always have one of these in every one of my Notions pouches for Bible journaling or journaling in general. And that is because I use it as a whiteout pen. And this is one that this is a Uniball. And there's actually some that I got off Amazon that are really nice. I'm going to link those down below because you can just kind of write over it and cover up what your mistake. I always have 2 pencils because I do like to doodle first. And there's my little small ruler and some washi samples. But that's what I keep in here. Zipper pouch is off of Amazon. It comes in a variety of colors. For the price, it's pretty nice. It does on the other side have these little 3 slip pockets, which I have not utilized, and then it does have this big envelope style pocket, which I have a couple of pictures in here. Several pictures in here that I want to use for my November journaling. And I'm going to link this divider. All the stuff, if I have it on Amazon or if I can find it on Amazon, I'll link it for you below with a whole little shopping list to make it easy. So next I have a folder. When I started my Traveler's Notebook journey, the beginning of the month, I did not have any folders to fit my Traveler's Notebooks besides one of these plastic folders that I'll talk about in a minute. So I had to make some folders, and I did find this really great video how to do that on YouTube, and I'm going to link that down below as well so you can make your own. But this is just some scrapbook paper. This one does not have 2 sides to it, so it's just white on the back. But I think it's a really pretty fall color, and it kind of matches my color theme that I'm going with. This was another little dashboard that I made. I just printed off an image and had it laminated. And I'm using it closer to Thanksgiving, but I wanted to go ahead and get all my November and December stuff prepared as far as my dashboards. And so I went ahead and got that cut. For my actual bread and butter of my traveler's notebook, I'm just using regular notebooks. So this was actually a set that I got off of Amazon as well. They're the black covers, and then this vinyl is actually a sheet of vinyl, sticky vinyl, that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, but it comes in the 12 by 12 scrapbook kind of size, and you can just cut it and peel off the back and it just sticks over, and it makes it very durable. And then I just stuck some stickers on it and washi in kind of the same color and theme that I was going for. So as soon as you open the book, you do have my thing. I did choose this really cute Happy Planner sticker that I've had forever, and then I just have my name here. And then we go into the actual planner itself. So this first page, I do like to utilize it as a pocket page to hold a removable calendar. So as I'm journaling, if I need to pull this out so I'm not flipping through constantly, I can have this sitting right here. And I can go ahead and mark dates on this as the month progresses. In this pocket, there also is going to be like a ruler that I'm going to make out of the graph paper. And I'm going to go ahead and have it marked so certain size boxes will be easy just to hold it up to the page and line it up. Almost like a template or a stencil of sorts for some quick doodling for pages. Then we have my cover page for the month of November. Now, this is not completely my idea. I did find this on YouTube. There is one of my favorite planner people to follow. And this is actually kind of the almost exact setup that she used in 2018 for her November planner. I did change up a few things though, but not a lot. I am going to change how I do my weekly pages, and I did add some stuff that she did not have. But I really like the style, and honestly, I've just been so stressed. I haven't wanted to really think. And so I saw a picture of one of the trackers that she used, and I just knew I wanted to use that theme for the month. And so I looked it up and kind of followed her tutorial on her channel. And I did draw this stuff according to what she had drawn, but it's not in the exact same places or anything, and mine's obviously not as perfection as hers, but it's okay. I have not doodled in a while, and so I know the more I get back into doodling, the more it's going to be a little bit easier for me to do. And so this is kind of the spread that I saw that hers, as far as this mood tracker, that I wanted to utilize. I do want to say the notebooks I'm using, I don't know if it's that or which of my markers I'm using, but I am getting a little shadowing through. Maybe it's because I used a heavy hand when I was coloring in some places with my markers. I'll talk about the markers I use in a different video, but I'm kind of sad that I'm getting some shadowing through on the other side. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's not going to make me mad, but it does kind of bother me. So for my habit tracker, and I haven't started coloring on this one yet, but I'm going to give some color to this page as well. I do have a little bit of an index at the bottom, so as I go through the month and I do stuff, I can highlight it to mark it off as a color visual in my mind. I did go ahead and mark a couple of the things just to kind of see if that was going to show through, and you can see it kind of gets a little bleed through there. So I'm trying to practice my my hand and using the marker in my notebook. I also did go ahead and start a little bit of this, and that is because I wanted to figure out how I wanted to do mine. I knew I wanted to do colors. I think on hers, she just did a certain design per her mood, but I wanted to use a color and a design for my mood, but I didn't know how, I didn't want to be stuck with one design for the whole month for just halfway happy, because what if I get tired of making that? So I think what I'm going to do, which is why I started this yesterday, or why I started coloring in it yesterday to try it out, was I'm going to stick with a color for each mood to track, but I'm going to use a little bit different design depending on what kind of mood I'm in. So if I'm kind of feeling really, really good and like artsy, I might try to put like a lot of design in that little section. But if I'm just having a blah day, I would be okay with just drawing a straight line and a couple of dots like that in the color to represent that, if that makes sense. I think that'll just kind of make it a little bit more interesting, and it would give this little scarf a lot of cool design and color as the month progresses. So here is my monthly calendar. I like having my calendar take up a whole page. I don't write tasks on these kind of calendars. I just write events doctor's appointments, birthdays, and things like that. And the reason I need the space is because I have to keep up with stuff for my family of 4, as well as my in-laws, because I am my mother-in-law's caretaker. So it's a lot of information that I have to try to navigate through on a daily basis, and having a big spread where I can just have boxes to write things in a bullet journal type way is what works best for me. I also want to really track my YouTube channel, my main channel's progression of the month. So since today's the 31st, I went ahead and kind of demonstrated that for you to show. I don't think I'm going to have a big uprise because I haven't put out any videos this week. So that's probably not going to change anyways. But what I'm visioning doing is at the top, put what I ever have for stats on the first. And then on the bottom, put my stats for the last day of the month to see the increase or decrease in subscribers or views. And that is a yarn channel if you're interested, and I'll link that down below. So the next page, I'm doing my events and upcoming. I like having this a full spread because I am someone who, as I come across something, I just write it down. And then as that month comes, I put it in that month's little section. And this has worked very well for me. So I can list birthdays here because over the years of swapping out phones, I've misplaced people's birthdays. And I don't look at Facebook all the time. And so trying to get my list back up and get them in one location is something that I've been working on. And this helps me do that. If I have any homeschool groups or anything, I'll write those down here. I have one for appointments. And then I have a big event. Then I write down my bills here, and then I can mark them off as I pay them for the month. Upcoming things that I need to actually set a date for, and then I can write, for the next couple of months there. And then as I get to that planner, I can just go and transfer those straight in. So this is my design inspiration page for the month. I love to doodle. My goal is going to be to doodle one thing every day that's small, or write a quote down that has stuck with me that day, or a verse on this page, just as a reflection of the month of what I've experienced in a different form besides actually writing out words. And so this is what that page is for. And then we have my bucket list page. So I have a running bucket list, the things I want to do this month. And then I have a fall movies. I did this for the month of October, and the husband and I have really enjoyed going through and just randomly picking numbers and watching that video that night for the month of scary movies. So the month of November is going to be movies that deal with fall or football and Thanksgiving, things like that. And so this is a list that I've already started of some that I want to see, and I'll just continue that on as the month progresses. I love using a variety of washi. I do have a large collection of washi. And then I have a lot of the old Happy Planner sticker books. And I just have never really used them up. And so my goal is just to use what I have for the rest of this year and for the following years. Because I'm just tired of having all this stuff around. I just want to have less stuff and more time. So I'm going to use what I got. I'm going to try not to buy a lot of things for this. So then we have my gratitude and grace section. So for the month of November, I really want to focus on being thankful. And that is what I've been kind of pushing the local youth group girls to take the time to be thankful for at least 3 things every day. And so I'm someone that I want to practice what I preach, so to speak. So if I'm telling them to do that, I need to do that as well. So this is how I'm going to do that for the month of November. I originally had planned on having little orange dots up under each of the number, and then I started numbering, and I got right about here, and I skipped the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and I went straight from the 6th through the 10th, 11th, 12th. And so when I ended writing my calendar, I was off, and I'm missing several days. So I had to go back in and white out and correct the date, but I had to make it all match. You can't get the marker to color on the whiteout area as good. I just had to erase all the marker and it was a lot of whiteout. It was 4 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. And when I was making this spread, and so I just did the best I could. And it's just going to have to work. It's fine. I think the little imperfections are what make it real. And I think the imperfections are what is life, you know, and memories. I was stressed because my mother-in-law was in the hospital and had to have an angioplasty or something like that, where she had a collapsed stent and had to have a stent replaced and a balloon, and then she developed blood clots, but she's home now, she's doing good. But when I was making this, I was going through all those emotions and that stress. And so I'm okay with seeing the stress on the page because she's still here and she is better. And God provided in that situation for me. So I like seeing His grace that He bestowed upon me. And it makes me be thankful. So that's why I'm not worried about that. But I did go ahead and write a couple of the words that go with gratitude for me. Gratitude, grace, give, and thanks. And then I actually define those in each of these first boxes. So each one of these boxes has a little couple of verses that I read that day, and then I have space to write down the 3 things, just in a very bullet form that I'm thankful for, 1-word answers. And then over the next few pages, I left journaling note page places so I can actually journal about those things and that morning reading as the month progresses. So then I go into a self-care checklist. And I really wish I put this with my other habit trackers. But again, this is really the first official setup that I've done in a traveler's notebook in probably 13 years. For the month of October, I just kind of had random things everywhere as I was trying to get back in the groove. And I'd only been doing it for about 3 weeks anyways. So this should be up in the other section. And when I do the December setup, I'm going to group things a little bit better, definitely, and do a little bit more planning, but it's fine. It'll be okay. So my idea with this was to make a self-care tracker where I use color, so that if I ever go do any of these things on that day, I'll just put a color dot, and then I can reflect back that, hey, I took the time to take care of myself, which is something that I do not do often and that I really should, because I can feel pressure and stress starting to get to me. And that is why I decided to get back into traveler's notebooks, actually, to kind of help deal with that. So I have a cleaning checklist, and these are just things that I like to do on a weekly basis that I typed up and then made check boxes. And then I have a little bit of a monthly one down below. I need to put a sticker or something here and decorate it. These pages, by the time this is over with, will probably be colorful with little doodles all over them anyways, because that's just something I like to do. So then I have a sell it off page, and I forgot where I got this idea from, but I needed it because when I'm stressed, I like to purge things in my house, because in my mind, the more I get rid of, the more time I have to do things that I love, because I don't have that much stuff to handle anymore. So I'm currently doing a big closet to clean out, and we'll be listing a lot of stuff on Poshmark, and this way I can track it. And you can see I've already listed something there. And as it sells, I'll write the price it's sold for. And at the end, I will tally it all up and have that total. And I may carry this on throughout the year for next year. I'm not sure, depending on how much I get rid of. And then I'm going to use that money to buy some more covers for my traveler's notebooks, because that's how I roll. And I think I left this page empty in case I need to do some more. And I may use this page for something else. I don't know. I like to just leave empty pages because sometimes I just think of something that I should add in and I go in and add it in. And there's space to do that. So next I have German with Mammal. So I do take care of my mother-in-law. She is Austrian and she is 87 years old. And she does have dementia. And so part of her healing process and her cognitive therapy is we listen to a lot of German music and things, but the problem is I don't speak German, so I'm having to fix that. So she is doing some online German classes with me, and it's also helping her remember and think and process things. So it's been really beneficial to both of us. And I started this last month in October. Well, technically this current month. And I have a section in that planner as well. But as I learn a new word or phrase, I just kind of write it down. And then I'm going to also probably rewrite some of the main ones that I use daily with her, just because it helps me learn them, to rewrite them over and to say them. And I left several pages for this to write these new phrases and things on as the month progresses. And then I just have, that's pretty much the whole first half of my book was right after the German with Mammal and that last spread. So then I have the whole rest of the book, and what I'm going to utilize all these pages for is my weekly spreads and just journaling. I want all my journaling to be in the same space. I do have a separate traveler's notebook that I use for church and sermon notes, and I'll show that on another day. But I wanted this section just to be nothing but journaling, a place where I can just pour out my thoughts and get out my stress and get it out of my body and on paper so I can reflect and I can see God's grace and love down the road and how He has blessed our family with my mother-in-law's health. So each weekly spread, I'm also going to do a little bit differently as I develop what works best for me, because I think that's something that we can get tied up in, is trying to do other people's spreads or layouts, and it may not be what we need in our life, but we try to make it work and then we get miserable. And that's not the whole goal of this. This goal is to find peace and to find something that helps us process our day a lot easier. And that's going to vary from person to person, and that's okay. That's what life is. So that's what these are going to be. Then I have, on the very back of this, I have some tear pages in this book. So this was part of a little tear pad, and so I have enough that I can have one of these for each week already in here for the month of November. It's our running grocery list and then our meal planning list, and as you can see, I haven't planned out anything for the month of November yet because I buy groceries on Mondays and I do all my meal planning on Sundays. So I won't really utilize this until Sunday, which would be November the, I have no idea. Let me refer to my calendar. November the 3rd, which would be Sunday. Yes, okay. And then I have the back of it that I also laminated or with that vinyl. And it's in the same stretchy band as my cover, as my folder. And so the way I have this set up is my November notebook is actually in the folder for November. So anything I need to stick in the back pocket for November is attached to it. And I can take that out if I need to, if I want to just have it and have all the November stuff together. So this one right here, this next one, is one that I'm working on or trying to figure out how I want to set up. And this is going to be for my month of, for my year of 2025. This also is another one of my dashboards that I made. It's just a photo that I keep in there. So this one right here is going to be my 2025 yearly setup. So my plan for my traveler's notebook is to have a notebook each month and a folder for that month. To have a designated tracker notebook for the whole month for yearly things that I want to track, and I will be talking about more of those later in another video. To have one folder and a book about all my yarny things for my YouTube channel, my knitting and crochet, and then have my a sticker book in here, and possibly go ahead and have the next month's notebook in here as I'm working on it. But this is the one I've chosen for the year of 2025. So this is just a little crate paper journal. I just thought it was really pretty, and I really like the wording on it. There's no place I'd rather be, because I want to be present in 2025. I want to just be in the moment and in the joy of that moment and not worried about the future or the past. So that kind of went along with my theme for 2025. It is a dot journal, and it's so much possibilities on what's going to be in there. I have a list, and like I said, I will talk about that more. So going out of that, we have more of my fun stuff. So this is the planner, traveler's notebook zipper pouch that I had prior. I had bought this off of Amazon, and when I got it in, there's this huge cut all the way across here. And it wasn't even cut in the bag. It was cut prior to putting it in the bag from the shipping center. So I messaged Amazon. They refunded me and told me just to keep it. But I put some washi over it and a couple of stickers, and it works fine. So I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it, though. But in here, I just have a couple of little things. So there is This is actually part of a old spiral bound notebook of one of my kids, but I love the covers, and I'll cut a straight edge, and that way I can just have a straight edge to fit like a box to keep in here like a template. And then I have a bookmark in here where I can write down a verse, so as I'm Bible journaling, I can stick that in my Bible. And these are some of my favorite little things to doodle, and so what I did, I just printed them off and laminated them, and I can use them just to look at when I am doodling, and it helps inspire me, or I just copy what's on there. I've had those in my planner, I can't even tell you for how many years. It's probably been 6 or 7 years that I've always just kept those in a planner. So I have another folder that I made, again using that video. This one is socks on it because it is for my knitting and crochet, my yarn life. I was going to title it, but I haven't done it yet. And this is a very old Carpe Diem Travels journal. This thing is so old. It was one of my first travel journal purchases, I think, ever. It was a set of these. So my yarn shed, my she shed is called My Yarnitopia, so I wrote that on the title of it. And then I just kind of defined the word make a little bit. And in here, I'm keeping it with my knitting and crochet goals, which I have completed my patch coaster. And I have completed my boo coasters, and I need to make a video about those. But these are my goals for the month of November, and I'm almost done with my socks and my mittens. And really, the rest of your goals will be here as well. And then I wanted to keep up with a couple of main things in here that I always forget, like the Kitchener stitch. So I went ahead and wrote that information down, and I got bored and doodled a mouse with a flower. Also in this, I will just be putting other special stitch instructions that maybe I can't remember, which I'll probably do the make one right and make one left, because I always get confused on which way to pick the bar up. So I'll make like a little cheat sheet to keep in here. And then I may write some more goals on these pages as this progresses. I don't really want to use this too much for just knitting or crochet notes. I want it to be something that I keep in my planner always. But I did utilize it the other day. I was doing a pattern, and same thing, Mama was in the hospital, and I could just not wrap my head around the wording. I'm more of a chart person, so I did a little journaling about it and how stressed I was. And then I just kind of drew out the chart. I'm covering it because it is copyrighted material. And I wrote the day that I started and the day I finished it. And once I had this chart done, I literally finished the whole project within 20 minutes. I'm just such a chart person. But I was getting so confused by the words, and it was upsetting me. And then there's the back of that pocket. So this kind of is my sticker section. There's really nothing else between here. There's a couple of stickers that I've stuck in here. These are more productivity stickers. And they were honestly just too small to put in the sticker book. And so that's why I just stuck them in here. Again, I do have a lot of Happy Planner stickers. So again, for me, the best way to use them is to have them available. And so I did purchase a sticker book, and I am keeping a paper clip on it because I realized that when you first put the stickers on here, they don't really stick very well. So holding it together has really helped them grasp the paper. But I'm just going through some of my sticker books and pulling out some of the productivity stickers and word stickers, and that's what I'm going to put in here so I can have easy access to them when I'm journaling, so I can actually use them, because I'm tired of them just laying everywhere. And here's the back of one of the new zipper pouches that I got, this new one. It is much thicker and nicer than the original one that I had. And I like, so this one just has like 2 big slip pockets. And this one actually has a slip pocket, but it also has these individual pockets on the back part for cards and stuff. So I think that's nice. I do want to collect some more covers so I can swap them out. But I do love this earthy brown for the month of November because it matches all of the things that I've made. But that is my current setup for my Traveler's Notebook. I hope you stick around this channel and see more things that I have coming, more videos and reviews, and I will be putting out more content as soon as I can on this channel as well as my other channel. I just needed another escape right now, and this is going to be it. I love my yarn, but I also love just to play with some paper too. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one.